Steve Stine from Guitar Zoom here. Thank you so much for joining me. Today what I'd like to do is show you a new guitar by Floyd Rose. Okay, Floyd sent over this guitar for me to check out and wanted my opinion on it, and I thought it'd be a really great thing to make a video and show you some of the new things that Floyd has been working on. Now, aside from the fact that the guitar is really fun to play, the neck, as expected, plays really, really comfortably, and the pickups sound really amazing. What I want to do is show you some of the things that he's come up with, some of the new devices or inventions that he's come up with that I think are really neat. Now, this guitar's got three things that really stand out as being unique. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a clean channel and a crunch channel and the distortion channel just to kind of show you what some of these things do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the pickups. Okay. Now, what he's done here, you can see I've got a humbucker and a single coil. So I've got 3 positions here with my toggle switch, okay? Now, if I'm in, of course, in this first position, this pickup is on. When I'm in this position, both pickups are on. And when I'm in this position, this pickup is on. Now, what I'm going to do is go to a clean channel here. Now, I'm going to go back to that center pickup and play on a clean channel here, and it sounds really great. Okay. Now what he's done though is this center knob, okay, right here, this center knob, what he's done is he's turned that into what he calls a blend knob, and basically what's going to happen is when it's sitting, there's a little spot there, I don't know if you can see the little, no, you probably can't, but there's a little divot and it kind of connects, and that's where you know it's in center. Now if I take that blend knob though and I turn it this direction, what happens is it brings in more of the neck pickup. See? Now if I turn it the other direction, then it brings in more of the bridge pickup. So what's kind of fun is you can blend those sounds together. You get some really unique sounds by doing that, so that's a really neat thing. The second thing is that he's taken the tone control back here and he's turned it into what he calls a half tone. And basically what you're doing is when you roll it all the way off, instead of rolling it into kind of an unusable place, when you roll it off, let me switch over to the neck position here, sort of enters that woman tone sound, that sort of Eric Clapton thing, if you will. So again, just a tonal option there. Kind of interesting as well. Okay, so you can blend all these different sounds together. I'm going to bring them all back to normal there. Go to a bit of a crunch channel here. Really nice sound from those, and then taking the blend, or in this case the half tone, So we get some really nice sounds that way. So we've got the blend knob, we've got the halftone, and then the third thing that I want to show you, which is really the most important new element that Floyd has been working on, is what he calls the speed guide. Now, this is something that you've really got to try out to see what you think of it and see if it matches your playing. But basically, Floyd was telling me how recently he's been trying to learn how to pick faster, and he's been having a hard time with certain elements of speed picking, which, if you've learned how to play fast before, you know that there's a lot of elements that go into it. And so basically what he did, let me see if you can kind of see this, but you can kind of see it in the angle right there. So from here to here, this part of the guitar is actually elevated, okay? So when the pick goes in to pick the string, it's only allowed to go in so deep. You see? So with that idea, it actually, for a player that is struggling with learning how to play fast or learning how to play sweeps or whatever it might be, what this does is it takes out the issue that you might have with the pick and sinking the pick a bit too far into the guitar when you're trying to pick fast. And I always think of it like the opposite of, if you know what a stylus pick is. When I was growing up, that was kind of what a lot of us tried to learn how to play on, was a stylus pick. And it was a guitar pick that had this weird little end on it, and if you pick too deep, you'd wind up on the opposite side of that little piece on the end of the guitar pick, and it would get stuck. So you'd have to learn how to play very shallow in terms of the guitar pick to kind of stay closer to the string. Well, that's what this does, okay? It doesn't allow the pick to go any deeper into the guitar. So right now, I'm literally sitting on this speed guide. The guitar pick is sitting on this speed guide, which helps you in being able to move across the strings like that. So for me, now I've been playing for quite some time, it was kind of weird at first to learn how to play with this because it felt like it was in the way a little bit. And the more I played with it, the more I realized that really the speed guide as it's set right now. Now Floyd was telling me that you can adjust the the distance from the strings to the speed guide by changing putting a shim in on the neck and then raising the tremolo system, right? The bridge. So if you bring these up a little bit, it would move further away from that, and then you'd have a little more play in there if that's what you're looking for. So basically, if we think about it, when I pick, my pick is literally just resting on that speed guide as I move across those strings. You see? So it's kind of an interesting idea as you play. So you just kind of use that guide as you play. The pick just sort of rests on there. Now, my brother is just learning how to play guitar, and he was talking about how he tried this and said it made it a little bit easier to strum too. Now, there's no doubt, in practicing with this, that there are some things that I found that were a little more difficult. Obviously, there's no way of really digging into the strings because there's no distance underneath there to be able to really grab into. So if you were trying to play something a bit more bluesy or you really need to get under those strings, that might be an issue. So I think, from my perspective, I think what makes this guitar really cool is that if you were using it to learn how to play faster, or maybe you've got a number of different guitars that you use for different situations and you really needed something for those faster passages and you're just not really dialed in yet with the practice, or some people just struggle forever with certain techniques, I think this would be a really great guitar to help. It would give you benefit in learning how to play a little bit faster. Whether it's something that you use to practice on, or whether this is your guitar, your go-to guitar when you need to play like that. And then when you need your bluesier stuff, maybe you go back to your, Strat, your Les Paul, or whatever it might be. But I just wanted to introduce you to this. Now, as a result of this speed guide, what I want you to notice too is that the pickups wind up being a bit more flush to the top of this speed guide. So they're mounted a little bit different than regular pickups would be. And as a result of that, what Floyd did was he created this tremolo spring cavity back here is longer, and that allows for rear mounting of those pickups, so you can put them in right from the back. So it's definitely worth checking out if if you happen to see one of these guitars in your music store, or if you happen to go to NAMM or something like that, and you'd want to check out the Floyd Rose booth and take a look at it and see what you think of it. But without the speed guide, without all that, number one, the guitar itself plays amazing. I love the neck on this guitar, and I'm going to be sad to send it back, as a matter of fact, just because it's been so much fun to play. And the pickups sound amazing, and the blend knob. I didn't use a lot of the halftone, but the blend knob I was using a lot. But the big thing about this is that that speed guide, and seeing if that's something that you think would be beneficial to you. And certainly if you're in that category of someone who would love to play faster, but you just really struggle with that, this is definitely a guitar worth checking out. So anyway, check it out. Floyd Rose, one of the new guitars that he's got coming out. I think it's a lot of fun, and it plays amazing, and Floyd is an amazing guy. So check it out, see what you think, and please, if you've had a chance to play one, make a comment below and let me know what you think, or if you're planning on playing one maybe at NAMM or something like that, let me know what you think afterwards, and we'll chat from there. So take care, stay positive, and I'll talk to you soon.